to feed off of the first video with Frankie, my 12-year-old adopted dog from 4 months ago, I brought my bear from the office. And what I go over just how the kids are connecting their central nervous system to our central nervous system, and that allows them to calm down. I go over that with parents during the intake session. And then we see this during the first session. First session, the kids are coming in, they're nervous, they're anxious, they're excited, okay? And normally, they're really clinging with mom because they're anxious and they're nervous, right? And it's like, wow, like we're just really, really anxious right now. And it's like, we're just nervous, we're excited, but a little nervous, and hanging out with mom makes us feel safe. And that's what they're doing. They're really anxious and they're really clinging to the parent to help keep them calm and to feel safe. And then as we go along and their anxiety starts coming down, they start moving farther away from mom. What they'll do is, instead they're like this, they're really, really clinging, and then they'll do like this, or they'll do this. And then they'll get off mom and they'll go look at the toys, and then they'll come back. Then they'll go look at the toys for a little bit longer. Their anxiety comes up, they come back to mom, just hanging out with mom, brings it down, and then they go over here. And they stay a little bit longer, then they come back. Then they go way over here, and then they come back. What they're doing is they're pushing their anxiety. The more comfortable they feel, the farther they can go and the longer they can hang out. But then as their anxiety builds, they come back to mom, anxiety comes down, then they go back and play. And then anxiety builds, they come back to mom, and they go back and play. And sometimes even by the first session, they start out like this, all over mom. And think about this, okay, when your kids are doing this, they are so anxious. This is as safe as we can be. All of our body weight is being supported by someone else. This makes us as safe as we can human possibly be, and we get as much skin-to-skin contact, letting our nervous system really sync up with theirs. Okay, this is what that is. They're so anxious, they need to feel safe and try to get as much connection with your central nervous system as possible. But then, by the end of the first session, they're way over here playing because we've allowed them to just do what they need to do to feel safe and have their anxiety come down. And mom and I are just chatting and we're connecting with the kid and we're talking with the kid, but we're allowing the child to do it on their own by staying emotionally connected with the kid and allowing them to do whatever they need to do. I mean, and talk about coping skill. This is, you are the tool. You are the coping skill. He gets anxious, or he just does this. Just comes close, touches mom, that's all he needs, and then over here playing, okay? And then he'll do this, just give mom like a hug on the knee, and then go over there. And helping the parents see this and recognizing what the kid is doing really, really empowers you guys. Because this is all you've got to do. Just come hang out with mom. When your kid doesn't want to sit with their baseball team, right? It's because they're really, really nervous. Yeah, just come hang out with mom. And then they will stay there until their anxiety comes down. Then they go back. And then if they get more anxious, yeah, it's okay. Just come hang out with me. And you can proactively use this. If they've got really hard homework or they've just had a really rough day, why don't you just come hang out with me? And you allow them to decide how close they need to be to you. The farther away they are that they decide to be, the less anxious they are. But then if they come closer, it tells you they're starting to get more anxious and they need to feed off of you. That's all you got to do. Just be emotionally present and allow them to feed off of you. Right, Frankie? Just what he does. He's 12.